Good evening on this election night in South Florida. I'm Lauren Pastrana.
And I'm Elliot Rodriguez. We're briefly breaking into programming right now to bring you the latest results of the mayoral races in Miami, Miami Beach, and Hialeah.
Now at the bottom of your screen, you see our election ticker with results updating in real time. Now let's take a look at the big races in our communities. In the city of Miami, here are the results. With 36% of the vote, Miami-Dade Commissioner Eileen Higgins leads the crowded field. Behind her is former city manager Emilio Gonzalez with 19.5% of the vote. Now, because neither got 50% of the vote, the two frontrunners will go to a runoff election on December 9th. Higgins and Gonzalez overtaking Miami mainstays like Joe Carroyo, Ken Russell, and Xavier Suarez and Alex Diaz de la Portilla in this race.
This is a nonpartisan race, but it could become partisan in this runoff. Let's go to Miami Beach right now, where 100% of the vote has been recorded, and with 51%, current Mayor Stephen Minor has won re-election over former Commissioner Kristen Rosen Gonzalez. Both candidates are well known to Miami Beach voters. Minor is a former federal government lawyer, and Rosen Gonzalez served on the commission and also unsuccessfully ran for Congress.
And now to the city of Hialeah, which has had a few mayoral changes recently. It appears former council member Bryan Calvo has secured enough of the vote to avoid a runoff with more than 52% of the vote, 52.8%. He has handily defeated the incumbent interim mayor Jackie Garcia-Roves, who just took office a little over 6 months ago when former Hialeah Mayor Esteban Bovo stepped down. So it's looking like no runoff in the city of Hialeah, as Bryan Calvo, the former councilman, appears to have locked in that race. But it is important to note again that the election is not over for the top two candidates in the city of Miami.
And that's because no one received 50% of the vote in the city of Miami. These races will result in a runoff that's scheduled to take place on December the 9th.
We will continue our special election coverage of these races right now on the CBS News Miami stream and the CBS News app on cbsmiami.com.
And we'll see you back here for CBS News Miami at 11. We are breaking in right now with live election results as the voters decide. They've been campaigning for months. You've made your voices heard, and now the results are in.
We welcome you to our CBS News Miami election special. I'm Lauren Pastrana.
And I'm Elliot Rodriguez. Throughout the day, we've seen steady streams of residents heading to voting locations to cast their ballots in the city of Miami, Miami Beach, and Hialeah.
Voters deciding several key races, including several heavily contested mayoral races. Let's get to the big one here in the city of Miami. Here are the results just in through the Supervisor of Elections office. With 36% of the vote in the lead right now, Eileen Higgins, soon to be former member of the Miami-Dade Commission. Her resignation will be effective tomorrow. She leads this crowded field. Behind her is former city manager Emilio Gonzalez with 19.5% of the vote. Now, because neither of them got 50% of the vote, these two frontrunners will go to a runoff on December 9th. Higgins and Gonzalez overtaking the other members of that crowded field. You see Ken Russell with 17.6%, very close there to Emilio Gonzalez. Joe Carroyo with 11.5% of the vote, and Alex Diaz de la Portilla with 5.1% of the vote in the city of Miami mayoral race.
Okay, let's check in with our reporters right now. Larry Seward is in Miami, where he's been following Eileen Higgins' campaign. And Larry, you just spoke to the county commissioner, former county commissioner. She's hoping to be the next mayor-elect of the city of Miami, but she's going to have to go through a runoff. What's she saying about that, Larry?
Well, let's ask her. She's right here next to me, actually. Now she's hugging one of her supporters, Eileen Higgins. Congratulations to you. 2-1 margin, you advanced to the runoff. You think this sends a message about what the voters of Miami want?
I think so. They want change. We all want change. We've been living in a period of 8 years where it's nothing but yelling, dysfunction, corruption, lawsuits. Nothing is getting done for the people. can't get a permit to fix your roof. You can't get a permit to open your small businesses. No one's fixing the flooding on your street. I'm an engineer. I have a track record of results at the county. That's my goal in the second round, to make sure people know I'm ready to go to work for them on day one as their mayor.
You mentioned work. You were thanking your supporters for all the doors they knocked, all the calls they made. We talked earlier about your analysis as an engineer. Your campaign, though, your strategy, you believe was what gave you an advantage here. Tell me more about that.
I campaigned in every single neighborhood, and that gives me a real advantage going into the runoff. I went everywhere on every door. Didn't matter what your political party is and what neighborhood you are. We talked to every neighbor. That's important to make sure that if somebody had a first choice, you're their second choice. And so you've seen me at events everywhere, from Little Havana to Little Haiti to Liberty City to Coconut Grove to right here in the urban core. And that's important. It's important that every resident knows, I want to earn your vote. I will restore trust in City Hall. We need that by getting things done that the residents need.
Great. Eileen, thank you so much for your time
Thank you so
and sticking
much.
with us. We'll look forward to talking to you more as we move closer to that runoff again.
December 9th.
December 9th. We'll send it back to you.
We'll certainly be marking the calendar and saving the date. Larry Seward, thanks so much. You heard from Eileen Higgins there. She's taking this somewhat as a mandate for change in the city of Miami. She talked a lot about the yelling. There's a lot of screaming. The decorum has been an issue in the city of Miami. Not the only candidate to mention that. The other candidate, though, who qualified for this runoff is Emilio Gonzalez.
Yeah, and Emilio Gonzalez, a former city manager, former airport director, also an Army veteran, and he's got a long career also with the Immigration Service at the federal level. He's also made it a point about the behavior of our elected leader, especially the commissioners. But let's check in with our reporter, Abby Dodge. She is in Little Havana with the Gonzalez campaign. And what's the feeling there? What's the mood, Abby?
Well, it is a packed room in here tonight, if you can't tell by where we're standing right now. I will tell you, when those first precincts started reporting, there was a little bit of a eruption of cheers here at Como Ayayer, here off of Calle Ocho. There are people gathering all throughout here. Many people saying that they are extremely hopeful that there can be a change in leadership in the city of Miami. And I see Emilio Gonzalez on the phone right here behind us. I'm not sure who he's talking to right now. We do know that he is expected to speak to the group as a whole in about 8:30 tonight. So hopefully once he gets off the phone here, I can have a conversation with him and we can relay that back to you all in the studio.
Before you go, let's try something. Try tapping him on the shoulder. Tell him that we're live. Let's see if that works.
Okay, let me try tapping him on the shoulder. Emilio, do you mind speaking with us? He's pretty locked in right now. I'm not sure who he's speaking with at the moment, but we will try to get his attention here.
There he is.
He's given me the universal signal of, like, give me just a little bit more time, and hopefully we'll be hearing from him soon. But I did try for you all.
Abby, let's see if we can hang tight a little bit, see if, he really means just a little bit more time. Kind of set the scene for us. Obviously, he's not in the lead. Is there an optimistic tone amongst all the people gathered there tonight?
Oh, most definitely, Lauren. I was actually able to speak with Emilio earlier today, and we talked about the potential of a runoff election in just a couple of weeks. And he said that he is more than prepared to continue to campaign for the votes of the people of Miami. And when I was walking around this room earlier today, there was a lot of hope. I'm seeing him talk to his daughters right now, those daughters both having big smiles on their faces. So let's see if we can't talk to Emilio. Who were you talking to on the phone just a moment ago?
Hold on. Hang on, I can't hear her. Come here.
We're trying. It's election day. It's live television.
That's okay.
Emilio, can you tell us who you were speaking with on the phone just a minute ago with?
I was speaking with the supervisor of election, Alina Garcia.
And what was she telling you?
Well, she's going to confirm the fact that there are not enough votes for Ken Russell to catch me to go into the runoffs.
So we are officially in a runoff between you and Eileen Higgins?
No, not yet. She's going to confirm it with me. She's going to call me right back.
Okay, so we're still waiting on that. I know I spoke with you earlier today about the potential of this runoff, and it's looking that may happen. How are you feeling as you continue to campaign for these next couple of weeks?
This is great. I've had a great time. Nothing's changed for me. Tomorrow's just another campaign day. But I'm thrilled to death that we got this far, We had a lot of obstacles thrown at us, but we made it, and I thank the voters of Miami for it.
And when you see those three front runners for this election tonight for the city of Miami, Mayor, when you see the three front runners tonight, what does that tell you about what the people of Miami want from their leadership?
Well, that tells you, first of all, that they don't want the same old tired politicians here, that they want somebody new, they want professionalism, and it should be very telling. It really should be very telling.
Yes, and do you feel like your decision to sue the city is working out well for you?
Absolutely, completely. And in fact, not only was it the right decision, I have three of my lawyers here partying with me tonight, so you know it.
A big celebration, hopefully soon to come for you. Thank you so much. We'll continue to speak with him throughout the night. For now, I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Abby, and I just wanted to reiterate the point that he made. He says he got off the phone with Eileen Garcia, the supervisor of elections in Miami-Dade County, and said he can't quite make it official yet, saying that he has, defeated or is in front of the other candidates who are running for office, specifically Ken Russell, who has about 17% to Emilio Gonzalez's 19.5%. And that's because looking at the website now for the supervisor of elections office, precincts reporting 134 out of 139. So basically, there's still enough outstanding votes that potentially, if Ken Russell got all those votes, they could push him ahead of Emilio Gonzalez. We're not saying that's going to happen, but we have to wait for every T to be crossed and I to be dotted before declaring. And
what's interesting about this race in the city of Miami, Lauren, is that this is a nonpartisan race with 13 candidates on the ballot. There was not much about, Democrats or Republicans, but now you may have a very clear choice between a Democrat in Eileen Higgins and a Republican and supporter of President Trump, who's got the endorsement from the Trump administration. And this may be a much more partisan race in the city of Miami. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of race is run compared to the race in the general election.
But not between political, partisan or politicians who've been, made a career out of this. Yes, Eileen Higgins she's run for office and she was in the council or the commission rather for Miami-Dade County, but specifically Emilio Gonzalez never chosen for elected office, right? He has served in the public capacity in the past as city manager and also running Miami International Airport, as well as some other jobs that he had, but he has sort of billed himself as the political career person. So he's sort of hoping that makes him stand out as well, because as you mentioned, those three top candidates in the city of Miami, it truly is a testament to the fact that it seems as though change is wanted in the city of Miami, no matter which political side you fall on the aisle.
Change is wanted, and people want somebody who can address the issue of housing affordability and how expensive it is to live in the city of Miami compared to the salaries that people are receiving, and they want attention to that. Both Eileen Higgins and Emilio Gonzalez have proposals for that, so we're going to be hearing more about that as this becomes a two-person race. But again, that's not official yet because some precincts are still not reporting.
That's right.
All right, right now let's go to a little bit further north in Miami-Dade County to Hialeah. And it appears that former council members Bryan Calvo has secured enough votes to avoid a runoff with, let's see if we can see the numbers up there, with 98% of the vote, and he defeated the incumbent interim mayor Jackie Garcia-Robles, who just took office a little over 6 months ago.
She replaced former Hialeah Mayor Esteban Bovo, who left to pursue other opportunities and lobbying roles in Washington, D.C. So Bryan Calvo, former city council member, taking 52.8% of the vote to avoid that runoff. And you mentioned that 98% of the vote in. Yes, it says here on the Eileen Garcia Supervisor of Elections website, with 44 of the 45 of the precincts reporting in the city of Hialeah. It looks as though Bryan Calvo will avoid that runoff. And CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor is there with Calvo right now. Yvonne?
52.8%.
It's looking like Yvonne maybe can't hear us right now, but you heard him just say 52.8% of the vote as he awaits to speak with Calvo there.
It's noisy in these campaign party headquarters, so let's see if we can reestablish communication with Yvonne Taylor to get Bryan Calvo. And in the city of Hialeah, what's interesting is that he made an issue out of the 911 call center and the number of 911 calls that were not answered. I think we have Yvonne Taylor now. Yvonne, can you hear us? And I know you're with Bryan Calvo.
Plain and simple. This is a country about hard work. I knocked on thousands and thousands and thousands of doors. I had a great team of volunteers, of campaign workers, and we were all committed to one thing: bringing change to the city of Hialeah. For too long, our residents have increased water bills, increased taxes.
Are they taking us live?
You are live right now.
I did. I said something.
Yvonne, you're live.
All right.
As we speak.
I think he can't hear. Once again, as you mentioned, it is loud in there. He talked about something similar to what Emilio Gonzalez talked about, that the people of Hialeah now are looking for that change. He was sort of a thorn in the side of the council and of the former mayor because of the issue with the 911 call centers. I believe he actually even sued the mayor and the city. That was dismissed. But it's interesting to see that even with sort of the headaches he caused for the council, it looks like the residents stand by at least the message that he's trying to get across in the city of Hialeah.
You know what I found interesting too? Emilio Gonzalez told Abby Dodge that in the city of Miami, voters want new faces. They didn't reelect any of the known faces in the city of Miami, at least, and possibly that may be happening in Hialeah, because this is a big loss for the current mayor of Hialeah, who's only held that job for 6 months, but you would think that would give you a tremendous advantage over these other candidates.
Yeah, that name recognition alone, and the fact that the former mayor sort of hand-selected her to take over this role, but that was not to be for Jackie Garcia Rovez, the first female mayor in the city of Hialeah, but very short-lived there. We do want to also remind you there are other races, not just mayoral races. There's also council races in the city of Hialeah. One of the one that handily defeated her opponent, Melinda de la Vega, defeating Juan Junco in the Group 6 race with 60.52% of the vote, and Luis Rodriguez beating Abdel Jimenez in Group 7 with 57% of the vote. The others had multiple people running in those races, and they were a little bit closer. Some looking like 36 to 40%, 22 to 24 to 23% in this Group 4 race. So should be interesting to see how these all shake out, although 44 of the 45 precincts are already reported.
And there are 2 commission seats up for grabs in the city of Miami right now. The last time I checked, Frank Carollo was leading in his race, and Christine King, the incumbent commissioner, way above anybody else. So let's get on the causeway and go over to Miami Beach, where Mayor Stephen Minor has led former Commissioner Kristen Rosen Gonzalez all night, and with 100% of the vote. Here are the results: 51% of the vote to Miami Beach Mayor Stephen Minor, 48.8% of the vote to former commissioner and one-time congressional candidate Kristen Rosen Gonzalez. These are 2 familiar faces in the city of Miami Beach, Lauren.
Yeah, these are the only 2 running. So even though he just barely got over that 50% threshold with 51.2%, Stephen Minor looking to be the winner of this race with 100% of the vote counted in the city of Miami Beach. I'm checking to see there's some other races as far as commission seats in the city of Miami Beach. We're a little bit closer. Group 2, you've got Laura Dominguez with almost 61% of the vote defeating Fred Carlton. For Group 3, Alex Fernandez defeating Luigi Mary. And there's a couple of other referendums that are being discussed as well in Surfside. Town funds exceeding $2 million. Basically, if the city wants to spend more than $2 million on something, they got to go to a vote, and it's looking like 53% of voters opted for that.
And Alex Fernandez is an incumbent commissioner in Miami Beach who cruised to re-election tonight. So he'll be celebrating. And now, since candidates in the city of Miami didn't reach 50%, there will be a runoff in the city of Miami for sure.
Here are some of those details for you. Top 2 candidates will participate. You can request a mail-in ballot by November 27th, and the runoff election will be held on December 9th. Now, remember, you continue to follow all of these races online at cbsmiami.com and right here on our 24/7 stream.
And now we're going to continue to stay on top of these races and bring you the latest on CBS News Miami at 11.
Thanks for joining us for our CBS News Miami election special. Have a good evening.
Good night.